I'm here with Alex Walker, the Mayor of Central Hawke's Bay. Kia ora, Alex, and thanks for joining me.
Kia ora, Andrew.
Alex, one thing living in your community, you get to see things that are going on and how the cost of living and that is affecting people. You and I spoke, and I did a story about 2 weeks ago on the fact that you had noticed that petrol prices were about 20 to even 30 cents higher than in neighbouring Napier and Hastings. Um, is this still happening? And is the community still talking about this?
Oh, yes, definitely still talking about this. And at that time, we did that story a couple of weeks ago, Andrew. At the time, AA said that there was something that was not particularly bad about Central Hawke's Bay, but potentially good about Hastings and Napier being closer to the port
Yes.
and access to the cheaper wholesale prices. Well, actually, I want to call foo-foo on that because actually, if you go down the road to Dannyvirk, Woodville and Palmerston North, you'll find the same anomaly where their petrol prices are 20 to 30 cents a litre cheaper than they are here in Central Hawke's Bay. So ours are extraordinarily high, and even with that attention from a couple of weeks ago, we still haven't really seen any movement. And petrol prices have actually softened in the last few days, and we still haven't seen that either. So there's something really weird going on here.
Because I mean, not only are you a rural community that has farmers and people like that coming through and needing to get petrol, but also you're a thoroughfare through to Wellington. And even myself, I've stopped and filled up with petrol in Waipawa or Wapakura and that. Um, what sort of impact does that have on people, on the cities, on your towns, if people aren't stopping to fill up with petrol?
Yeah, so there's quite a few flow throughs. So there's a negative flow through, which is people in our community go somewhere else to get their petrol. And if you're going somewhere else to get your petrol, are you then going to buy your groceries in Hastings? Or are you going to do some other shopping at the warehouse in Dannyvirk instead of doing your other shopping locally? So that's a draw that we see go out. But the other thing is that when people stop and get fuel and stop in our towns, both Waipokoro and Waipawa, they're stopping and they're buying coffees. They're popping across the street and having a look at the really cool vinyl record shop on the main street in Waipawa. They're going for a little nosy around the corner to Tenku or some of our other shops, even the pharmacy just around the corner in Waipokoro. And if we're not getting people stopping because it's not competitive, then it's actually a negative consequence for our businesses, a double negative actually. They're losing their own locals and then they're losing the visitors as well.
What is there that you can do about this? Have you raised it with anyone?
I've been trying to. I haven't managed to find anyone who can actually give me an answer as to how we can get this changed. And considering the amount of public talk about it, we haven't seen anything come from any of those fuel companies as yet. We have at least 4 of the main retailers in our community, and we've got some of the smaller retailers as well. And we haven't seen any movement yet. So if any of them feel like they'd like to have a chat to me, my door is always open.
Well, we'll be watching this as well and keeping an eye on things and trying to get to the bottom of it as well. Thank you so much for your time, Alex.
Thanks, Andrew.